Every day, more and more road users are filming their journeys, which can often end in disaster. Pioneered by motorists in Russia and Eastern Europe, dashboard-mounted cameras are constantly recording our behavior on the roads. From the bizarre, to the ridiculous, the funny, to the downright dangerous. The thousands and thousands of dashcams around the world have captured just about every mishap you can think of. Now we're going to delve into this treasure trove of stupidity on the roads. Put things right by pointing the finger of blame. Replay the action to see what really happened. And of course, there's nothing like seeing other people's mistakes when it comes to helping us become better drivers. And please remember, on all the clips, yes, that's all the clips we show, no one, and that means no one, is seriously hurt. So drive safely. Not everyone is this lucky. Still to come on the show, more ridiculously outrageous road use from all around this wonderful planet that, had it happened in Britain, would have resulted in the following contraventions of our highway code. Article 147. Try to be understanding if other road users cause problems. They may be inexperienced or not know the area well. Article 97. Before setting off, you should ensure that your mirrors and seat are adjusted correctly to ensure comfort, full control, and maximum vision. The one about it always being a good idea to speed around a corner with gay abandon. And from The Walk of Life, my pamphlet on how to stay alive whilst outside the safe confines of a car, Rule 1, don't get out of the car. There are no other rules. Do you know who I think are the worst people on earth? Those morons who are too tight to spend any money on you for your big birthday, and so pull down a speed limit sign to give you a big circular reminder of your age. Not just because unwrapping a national speed limit hurts, but also because it means speeders have nothing to keep them in check. See these? Where I come from, these bad boys let you know that, unless otherwise stated, this is a 30 zone. Maybe we should paint streetlights bright red so more people see them. That tactic didn't help our speeder spot this car. Maybe neon green would be better. See this? Add eyes, and you've got my reaction to this shocking excuse for driving. When I'm not making Car Crash TV, I can be found on roofs all over the country filming for my other show, Grotty Guttering TV. Every now and again, both projects hurtle into each other like this. I had to choose which show I wanted this to go on. With that abomination, I'm still not sure I made the right decision. Feel free to privately disagree, but this is a fun show. Nothing wrong with a little crash if it's all cleared up. This clip, however, is not fun, and there's everything wrong with it. Remember, people, the only places you'll get to quicker by speeding are heaven or hell. Luckily for our speeder, he survived this incident. Time for him to repent, if he hasn't already sealed his fate. This is a little clip I like to refer to as the speeder sandwich. Here's our flagrant filling, desperate to be the bit everyone talks about. Here are our two chunky pieces of bread. And in here is the world's largest toasty maker. We couldn't ethically show it to you in action because of the high levels of ketchup. But if you use your imagination as much as I did, it should still hit the spot. We recently received a letter of complaint about our semi-regular feature, Yorkshire Parking News, claiming it was racist towards the rest of the UK. Well, I don't like my integrity being called into question, so we furnished Jeff with a thermos of Yorkshire's finest and some pikelets and sent him around the UK to lend credence to our claim that only the Yorkshireman knows how to park. This is a Yorkshire Parking Bulletin Special National Report.
Thanks, lad. I first ventured to Northumbria to assess the ability of the Geordies, northern lads, so me hopes were high. And initially, my findings were promising, with these chaps all nicely lined up. But then, I bore witness to this abomination, sneaking in front to nick that poor fella's spot. Outrageous. My journey then took me to Lincolnshire, and I watched in horror while this bumbling idiot made a right pig's ear of reversing out of a space. He starts well enough, but then look, there, he's clipped the curb. Absolutely unforgivable. And that car's got parking sensors too. You're a ruddy menace, man. I headed inland to Warwickshire, where, apparently, the population are racked with indecision. Just get in the space, man. What the ruddy hell are you waiting for? Although I despise Southerners, I knew I had to defend the bulletin's good name, so I manned up and headed to the mean streets of Kent. I barely escaped alive, and with lunatics like this exiting a car park without so much as a sideways glance, I'm lucky I'm still breathing. My next stop was Hampshire, where, apparently, they find it impossible to parallel park. Come on, lad, you can't leave it there. You're adjacent to a perfect space. You're not even trying. Finally, I went to Somerset in the hope of finding some kindred spirits, and those hopes were almost immediately dashed. If you can't park a Luton van in a perfectly marked out municipal lot, then you've no business being on road. It was a harrowing journey, my very own heart of darkness in fact. But thankfully, I'm now back safe in the welcoming bosom of Ilkley, and I won't be leaving again. I think I've made my point. The only place where people can park is Yorkshire. Jeff Bird, signing off.
There's nothing more heartwarming than being praised for your ability to drive well. Just imagine how great you'd feel if someone told you that you'd nailed that right turn. But for every yin, there is a yang. So if you drive badly, you should expect to be admonished. And what if said admonishment took the form of a big pointy finger? Well, heck, then you'd have yourself a bit of a blame game.
Good evening, folks, and welcome along to the Blame Game. And to kick us off, we have a side swipe in the offing that looks like it's going to sting a bit. But which of these two is the bumbling buffoon who's brought shame upon himself and his family? That red light suggests it's the fella in the grey car. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt and wind back to check when amber became red. Ooh, it's close, but for me, that chap is still behind the light when it changes to red, and I'm afraid that means I'm gonna have to stick my big pointy finger right in your face. Blame! Well, first of all, friend, this is a bit quick for a built-up area, but as we don't know the speed limit, I can't really admonish you just yet. That doesn't mean you're out of the woods, though. Still plenty of time for you to come a cropper. And this is why they call me the Blame Game King round these parts. Anyway, impact is imminent, but who's the irresponsible road user? Well, if we wind back a bit, we'll see Fast Freddy here has gone past a green light, which means this is his right of way, and the other driver should not have cut across the road. So it's blame to you, sir. And I know you've got your name to live up to, Fast Freddy, but slow down a bit. Well, one thing is for certain, the people in this town lack a bit of imagination, as this scene could really do with a nice splash of colour. Well, I suppose black is at least a different colour, but it's hardly vibrant. Anyway, speaking of colour, if you look up above the scene of this imminent incident, you'll see a very clear green light that corresponds to the lane our friend in black is in. Which means I'm saying blame to the white car arriving from the left. And finally, we're following a Volvo, so this chap is bound to be a sensible driver. Yes, waited for the green light before continuing on his way. Classic Volvo driver behaviour. Takes that corner beautifully, and then onwards to... But wait, there's a big yellow truck in the way. Well, surely he's jumped his set of lights. But no, look at the top of the screen. That there is a clear red light. So our sensible friend is the light jumper, destroying years and years of goodwill built up by the myriad of respectable Volvo drivers. I hope you're happy. You've ruined it for all of us. Blame! That's your lot, folks. I'm off to try and rebuild the public's faith in the Volvo driving brethren. But I'll be back again soon for more Blame Game.
When I'm not delivering note-perfect voiceover, I like to spend my time appreciating art. Is this because I have an encyclopedic knowledge of the Renaissance period? Possibly. Is it because I have a thing for arty types who dress exclusively in hemp? Could be. Or is it because I like to sneak around art galleries looking for flaws in the security system? Who can say? What I can say is my commitment to art is so all-consuming that I've managed to shoehorn it into this program. And so I give you the art of the automobile.
Today's first piece is this extraordinary sculpture from the unorthodox Indonesian Sukarno. His bridge over troubled water, a metaphor for the fictional bridges that bind together his island nation.
Well, that all actually sounds plausible. Have you finally sobered up? Let's see if it's had the desired effect. I'll accept nothing lower than 2 million. Sold! And a tidy little 10% for you, my friend. You've earned it.
Our next piece is entitled Gridlock, and I think it's pretty evident what the artist was trying to say here. Even a Philistine could unravel the subtext.
This is my Dashcam. I know it is because that Burke in the lorry is about to scrape the side of my Volvo. Come on, I know this is a con, but you really need to try harder, otherwise we'll get rumbled. I'm looking for a quick sale here. 50k, anyone? Sold. A fine bargain, sir. I might need to watch that quickly before you take it home, just to make sure I've wiped the other incident from the memory card.
This piece is entitled Concrete Jungle from the Japanese performance artist Sani, who can't resist putting a little bit of himself in everything he produces. This piece, a harsh comment on man's need to build.
Again, this sounds completely plausible. Oh, look! A busload of professional footballers just arrived. Yes, sir, I will take 700,000. And you take that back to your mock Tudor mansion in Cheshire.
Next, we have Distraction from German artist Karl Marx. No relation. Notice the clever juxtaposition of the tree to pull your attention away from the action.
Looks like a trucker just left his dash cam running while he pulled over for a power nap to me. But I'm not the expert. I'm just here to flog this stuff to stupid fat people with money to burn. Why, yes, sir, I will accept $1 million. American dollars, I assume?
Our final piece today is entitled Carmageddon, created when the artist Paulo Forbes lost his mind, jumped into an articulated lorry, and just went for it. The results are both spectacular and moving, and serve to visualize Paulo's strong, environmentally conscious beliefs.
Are you sure we should be selling this? It feels like we should really be turning this into the relevant authorities and having old Paulo sectioned. Sorry, sir? You'll give me 4 million? Sold! Right, forget everything I said. I'm sure everyone in the clip was perfectly all right, and Paulo is no immediate threat to the general public. Just take this money and leg it. Coming up on Car Crash TV, we gain some helpful advice on mastering multiple lanes, gain some much-needed catharsis on nice car shame about the driver, and get to answer the ever-pressing question, hit or miss. But first, what a stunning sunset it looks like we're about to enjoy. And if only that were the case. Sadly, we need something more dramatic than that. So thinking caps on, people. What happens next? It's a major ejection. Welcome back to Car Crash TV. So what did happen next? Well, this is actually exclusive footage from the new James Bond film. Here comes the man himself, driving his modified pickup truck that Q has had the good grace to fit an ejector seat to, so Bond can get rid of any unwanted passengers. There goes the roof now, but not the unwanted passenger. And now Bond's dead. Well, that's a dramatic new direction for the franchise, I must say. Jealousy is a terrible thing. I've seen the envious looks Neil casts my way when I come to work in the morning, resplendent in Pringle sportswear, behind the wheel of my mid-range second-hand Volvo. Work hard, Neil, and one day such luxuries could be yours. Yes, the green-eyed monster infects us all. That's why I created this little feature where I enjoy watching those with more money than me suffer at the wheel. It's time for some catharsis in Nice Car, Shame About the Driver. I spy with my little eyes something beginning with B. That's right, it's a BMW, which failed miserably to spy the little car in front of it that was turning into its driveway. That'll cost you, by my reckoning, something in the region of 200,000 rubles. Well, this is a treat. A lovely, expensive Range Rover. I shall look forward to seeing what sort of despicable driving this posh toff dishes out. And that might well be a BMW next to him, too. Is this going to be a case of double trouble? Let's find out. Go on, jump the lights. You know you want to. Disappointing. Wasn't really his fault. Well, hopefully the guy he hit flees the scene, leaving him to stump up the green to cover that bill of 150,000 rubles. In fact, let's just say he did, so I can sleep well tonight. People who own fast cars often tend to speed like it's their divine right. Observe, don't buy a fast car if you don't have the skills to control it. Otherwise, you'll find yourself parting with a princely 500,000 rubles. The two white cars in this clip look very familiar, and if you couldn't see their badges, it would be hard to tell them apart. However, there is one simple way to tell a Mercedes from a Hyundai. Just observe the driving. Yes, the Merc's the one on the right, driving like it owns the road, but that sort of behavior will cost you, by my reckoning, 250,000 rubles. The driver we're about to meet has purchased a white BMW in the hope of standing out, so others will avoid him when he performs his Burkish maneuvers. Maybe you should have paid a couple of rubles to keep it clean, sir. Would have been cheaper than the 100,000 you're going to have to cough up to repair it. And finally, another Beamer showing a complete lack of patience as he illegally crosses the unbroken line to try and overtake whoever's coming between him and his champagne reception. And his irresponsible maneuver has caused this poor chap to crash, but he doesn't even give a backward glance. Don't worry, my friend. I've got his number plate, so I'll be sure to serve him a bill of 400,000 rubles with his canapes. Well, that was an immensely satisfying 2 minutes, I must say. And the total cost of bringing me this joy? A tidy 1,600,000 rubles. Someone pass me the cigarettes. Life is unpredictable. 1 minute you're treading the boards of the Globe Theatre, the next you're stuck in a poky little booth talking to yourself. Or perhaps you're racing home with a bunch of flowers for the woman you love, only to find an empty wardrobe and Basil the Dashhound's empty basket. Or perhaps you hire someone who interviews well without checking their references and end up with a personal assistant called Neil. I hate my life. Here's some more unpredictable scenarios for you. It's hit or miss. Let us begin. And the first thing to notice is that the guy we're traveling with is going at quite a lick. Seriously, friend, this is a built-up area. You might want to hold your horses, or you could find yourself in a hit or miss scenario. Wow. It's almost like this section of the show were made for this clip. Spooky. Will Simon the Speeder hit the white car cutting in front of him, the poor innocent sign at the side of the road, or miss completely? And it's a hit, which is hardly surprising. Why don't you pull over, light a cigarette, and Google stopping distances while you wait for the recovery vehicle? 4 lanes, what appears to be sleet, and some questionable lane discipline. Methinks this can only end in one way. But is me right? All those brake lights suggest I might be onto something. So will the chap we're traveling with hit the car on the left, the car on the right, the one in the middle, or prove to be a wonderful advert for brake maintenance and miss? And it's a miss. And I imagine a pass on your next MOT. Double bubble. And to end on, look at these polite people, letting this chap out at this busy junction. Polite people, or extreme practical jokers, hoping he might plow into the side of that big lorry that's just appeared in shot. Let's find out. Will our junction jockey hit the big lorry that's just appeared in shot, or see it in time, hit the brakes, and miss? And it's a hit! Come on, though, guys. Maybe think of something less extreme next time. Even some laxatives in the coffee would be more welcome than this. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed this week's collection of nonsense. Join us again soon, when once more I'll ask the question, hit or miss? A dark cloud has descended on my voiceover booth, and I can smell onions, which can only mean one thing. It's with great sadness that I now hand over to my former mentor and perhaps the dullest man I've ever met, Keith Jones, who this week will be enlightening you on the simple task of mastering multiple lanes. Brace yourself for a very stale couple of minutes, but don't worry, I'll be back soon, promise. Step 1. Whilst travelling on a multi-lane road, you may be required to change lane. Before doing so, be sure to check your rear-view mirror, wing mirror and blind spot to ensure the lane you wish to occupy is clear. How's the wife then, Keith? Oh yes, that's right. She left you for a woman, didn't she?
Step 2. Multi-lane carriageways can have as few lanes as 2 and as many as 5. Please make sure you are fully aware of how many lanes there are before performing the manoeuvre laid out in Step 1.
I mean, I've had 3 wives leave me, but never for a woman. That must be so humiliating.
Step 3. Do not let an event such as an alien invasion distract you from maintaining a forward trajectory. It is not okay to stop in the middle of a multi-lane carriageway, and it is definitely not okay to get out of your car, even if someone does ask you to take them to your leader.
It must be hard for you to look your son in the face. Just imagine how disappointed he must be in you.
Step 4. Some advice for those of you who might live close to a multi-lane carriageway. It is important to keep your domestic animals safely within the confines of your property. Whilst this canine was okay, your beast may not be as lucky. You used to live near a multi-lane carriageway, didn't you?
How'd you know that, Keith?
Step 5. Whilst taking long journeys on a multi-lane road, please make sure you pull over and take a break before you start to feel sleepy. Which reminds me, how well are you sleeping in that travel tavern?
Who told you I sleep in a travel tavern? And more importantly, how do you know where I used to live?
Step 6. If you wish to leave a multi-lane carriageway, please position your vehicle in the lane closest to the slip road as early as possible to ensure a smooth exit.
Don't make me come in there, Keith.
Answer me, damn you. That reminds me, must make sure I position myself close to the exit. And finally, step 7. Please make sure you leave 2 chevrons in between yourself and the vehicle in front. Traffic can build up quickly, so you need to give yourself ample room in which to stop. And in answer to your question, I know your old address because it's now my new address. Janet says hi.
You're a dead man, Keith.